Heads up.
It's about 10 minutes, good.
It's cold.
It's colder than Surprise Lake was.
That was our first time visiting Grand Teton National Park on July 20th, 2021. We began our hike at the Lupine Meadows Trailhead, 7 a.m. start. We hiked up the Valley Trail to the Garnet Canyon Trail to the Surprise and Amphitheater Lakes Trail. Backtracked a couple of miles, then veered off at the Delta Lake Trail. Stats to reach all 3 lakes. Hiking distance, 12 miles. Total elevation gain, 3,500 feet. The trail heading up to Surprise and Amphitheater Lakes is very well maintained. It's mostly a dirt and rock trail with a ton of switchbacks and a gentle incline all the way up to the lakes. This gentle incline is still about 3,000 feet of total elevation gain over 5 or 6 miles. Hiking up to the Amphitheater and Surprise Lakes will present you with great views of Bradley and Taggart Lakes down below, and probably a good chance to see some wildlife. We saw a sage grouse on the trail, and we also saw a grizzly cub at the top of the switchbacks. A lot of other hikers we talked to also saw bears. Unfortunately, I did not get any footage of the bears though. When we arrived at Surprise Lake, we were very surprised that we had the entire lake to ourselves. The lake was calm, the sun finally started to come out for the first time today, and the reflections were just a very tranquil feeling that is very hard to explain, with the Tetons reflecting in the water from the shore. Surprise Lake is awesome. If you made it that far, you might as well continue up to Amphitheater Lake, as it's only 0.2 miles away. A little more green, reflections are about the same. Both have great views. And once again, we were the only ones at that lake. Saw a couple of other hikers come up right behind us, but that was as we were leaving. Although there are trail signs to both of these lakes all throughout the trail, there is not any trail signs for Delta Lake, which is the more popular of these 3 lakes by far. So we had to backtrack about 2 miles back down, maybe 1.5 miles. If you're just going for Delta Lake, it's gonna be the 6th switchback. Look for the 3 logs that are going downhill, and the trail leading that way will be very evident. You are gonna gain 500 feet of elevation gain in less than half a mile. It's a steep hike up, the trail disappears here and there, but Delta Lake is extremely popular for a reason. When we arrived at Delta Lake, we were presented with some pretty awesome views. There were lots of people there, which is to be expected. You can kind of compare that with Sky Pond in Rocky Mountain National Park. Kept waiting for the sun to come out. It only shined briefly on the lake a couple of times, which turns it a very awesome turquoise blue. The lack of sun also made it very chilly to swim in Delta Lake. I was the only idiot out there even attempting to swim in the lake. Overall, my first impression of Grand Teton National Park, I really liked all of these lakes. The hike was very enjoyable. Didn't get to spend a whole lot of time in Grand Teton National Park, but we will be back eventually for the Grand Teton Loop. If you have visited Grand Teton National Park before and have hiked these lakes, leave a comment below and let us know what the trail conditions were and how much you enjoyed the hike. That's it for now. Until the next one, I'm Dave Spates, Hiking Adventure Photography.